And welcome back to another episode of the Real Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Jacob O'Connor. Real Conversations is a podcast for those dedicated to doing hard things and building a meaningful life. We believe greatness isn't given. It's built, brick by brick, day by day. Here we share the lessons and stories meant to help you on your journey to living your best life. Today, I'm joined with my good friend, Quinn Robertson. It's been a while since you've been on, Quinn, like 6 months.
Something like that. Yeah. I love the new intro, by the way. It's uplifting. There's the new brick by brick part, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, well, I realized that one of the things I enjoyed talking about the most was like the importance of daily consistencies, how that compounds, starting small, making something bigger, like the long game, like all of those things I feel like are this idea of building something brick by brick.
That's cool.
So I just wanted to toss it in the beginning.
I love it.
Plus, I don't know, I feel like I started Real Conversations not knowing like the thesis behind it, other than let's talk to high performers. And then over the last 160 some episodes at this point, I think it started to get more narrowly defined. And so that's the direction I'm heading with it.
I love it. Yeah. The messaging is good. I think if I was a branding guy, which I'm not for the record, it would be on point. You are honing in all of that, which is good.
You're not a branding guy, but you got a massive LinkedIn following.
Do I? Do I really? I will say I did eclipse on, it's like 500 plus followers or whatever, or connections or something. Like they don't count afterwards. I hit that mark at some point. So that makes me feel good. I feel like that's an important milestone.
Even if your following is not big, you are the guy that everyone wants to know. You're like the guy in the Heineken commercials.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That's an uplifting comment right there. That makes me feel good.
Hey, I got plenty of them.
I'll take it.
Okay, real quick, I want to address the people. I haven't had an episode up in like a week and a half or almost 2 weeks, which is out of the norm for me. As I mentioned in previous episodes, this is a very busy time for John and I. We've got some exciting things in the work that we hope to share pretty soon. And then in the midst of that, I ended up getting sick as well. So I've been battling through that.
That's gross.
Nonetheless, we have a big 3 weeks coming up. I just kind of teased that on my Instagram today. But John and I have some travel. We've got some podcasts that we're traveling for, some meetings that we're traveling for.
Okay.
Yeah, I plan to get this back in rhythm, back on track, because I love doing the podcast. I think it's important. But just wanted to acknowledge the elephant in the room, or at least the elephant in my room. It just haunts me every day that goes by and I don't have an episode. I'm like, come on. Seriously?
I appreciate the dedication with that. You know that you've started to build really good habits. When you fall out of them, They start to eat at you a little bit. Like it's when you first start going to the gym, like you're 2 months in or something and you miss a day, you miss a couple of days, whatever. And you're just like, it's fine. It's when it starts to gnaw at you and it starts to really, really subtly get to you. I think that's like a nice little mental turning point there.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah.
James Clear's quote on habits are never miss twice. And so you miss the first time, that's one thing. You miss twice, that's the beginning of a new habit. And so that's what really eats at me is like, I've been in rhythm. I've been on pace to hit 52 uploads this year, which is one a week. I missed it last year by one episode. So you think about it over 2 years, I will have missed 1 week out of 2 years. And then missing these last 2 weeks, I don't know, I might do 2 uploads for 2 weeks in a row just to get the numbers back. It really bothers me.
Oh, I get you.
Quinn, I think a fun way to start this, because you and I actually have some good topics lined up. You want to take a shot?
Sure. I'm intrigued by what there's been for folks that aren't watching. There's this ominous bottle sitting over on the side. So I'm really intrigued with whatever this is. Tell me more.
All right, you dirty dogs at home. You thought I was talking about alcohol. I'm not talking about alcohol. I have a regular here at the restaurant. He's got a fascinating life story.
Okay.
So his dad was the CFO of Pizza Hut. Okay. Which, of course, is a Wichita success story, became a national large brand. So he was the CFO of Pizza Hut and did really well from that. Well, they got acquired by Pepsi. And so when that happened, he became a big dog over at Pepsi.
Okay.
So their family they do really well. And they're able to kind of maybe focus on things that people wouldn't focus on because they've got more resources from that. One of the things that this gentleman focuses on is health and wellness.
Okay.
So him and I nerd out over that. He actually listens to the podcast. One of my favorite regulars, great guy. And he came into the restaurant and I guess he'd seen that I do ice baths. We always talk about ice baths, sauna, running, working out, different supplements that we take, creatine, that type of stuff. He was telling me about how would you pronounce that first word?
Liposomal?
Yeah, liposomal, NAD+. I think that's what most people will know this as. He was telling me about NAD+. This is not alcohol, as I mentioned. This is just a supplement. And what it does, I was reading up on it. Apparently, it promotes cellular repair. It helps with your energy, helps with cognitive function, so it's nootropic, and it just helps you age better, I guess, is one of the things that it's said to do. But this gentleman was telling me about it. He was like, I was working out. I took this before the workout. And he's like, it was the best workout of my life. Like, I didn't have a crash. I stayed dialed in the whole time. So he was like, you should try it. I'll drop this off for you. And I completely forgot about it. I came into the restaurant today. And this is back in the office waiting for me. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, that's super kind of you. Really appreciate it. I tried it this afternoon. Posted this on my Instagram. I felt like I could run through a brick wall.
Really?
Dude, I don't know if it's placebo or what, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't know if I'm supposed to take it twice in one day, but I mean, there's no caffeine or anything in it. So I would imagine it's not the end of the world. So I figured you and I should do this on the podcast.
That feels like the greatest outcome that could possibly happen with that. Have you, is the real stuff sitting like back in your office and you just, you put some water in a bottle and tried to see if I'm going to hit a placebo effect? Is that what's going on here as well?
That actually would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny.
That would have taken some forethought on your side though. It's like almost a milky substance. That's interesting. Also, you said it promotes aging. Are you suggesting something about my age? Is that...
Not promoting aging. It helps you age
age better. Okay. Because I'm aging right now. Is okay.
Well, I mean, you're not Rob Gerlach, who is approaching 40 very quickly.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
All right, salud.
Salud.
It's not a bad taste.
It tastes much better than I thought it would. Almost like it's not like citrusy, but it's kind of got that, how do I say this? Like the fake fruit taste. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of that's going on there.
It's got monk fruit in it, so that might be what you're tasting.
Oh, that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You ever had ketones?
No.
Okay. Ketones are being used for running a lot. There's a company called Ketone IQ that makes them. They're most popular. It reminds me of ketones.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. It tastes really good. Like I would have no issue drinking that. None whatsoever.
So then to wash it down, because we monitor our alcohol intake here at the Real Conversations podcast.
Yeah.
It's called Recess Mood. The flavor's Tropical Bliss. It's magnesium and adaptogen-infused sparkling water. It says an antidote to modern times.
I like it.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is it wasn't this one. It was a different version. I was going and working at a coffee shop, and they actually had this brand sitting in like one of their refrigerators. And I was like, I don't really want coffee. It was like 2:00. And I saw this and I'm like, oh, this sounds really interesting. So I've had a different version of this Recess maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. And it tasted pretty good.
I've tried the other flavors, or some of them. This is my favorite flavor by far.
Ooh, I like that. That's not overly powerful on the flavor.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a sparkling water. It's more sparkling water than it is whatever the flavor is.
You have to be careful with these. Some of them are made with either hemp or CBD.
Interesting. And this is the non-CBD one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yours has marijuana, but other than that.
Okay, that's fun. Did you just like muddle it with a marijuana?
Do you see that little pinprick in the side of your hand?
Oh, man.
No,
it tastes pretty good.
Yeah. So I wanted to get you Sparkling Element because I've been drinking a lot of that. It's electrolytes, carbonated electrolytes. I've been drinking a lot of those, but unfortunately I went there today and they were out. So these are a close second.
I'll take it. This is an easy sipper for the rest of the podcast for sure.
Yeah. Magnesium L-threonate, a form of magnesium for the brain. Adaptogens, which is L-theanine and lemon balm to help maintain balance. It just says, take a recess, create a moment in time to do what you wish. Calm, cool, collected.
And it's 0 grams of added sugar. It's amazing. My wife and I have started to be much more intentional about the no added sugar stuff. And so it is absolutely amazing the number of things that we find, and we are trying to find the no sugar added options. Yep. That's tough.
Dude, it is scary when you start actually looking while you're shopping, the amount of sugar that's added into things. I've started to pay more attention to it, and it's like, ooh, wow.
Yeah. It's much more difficult than I was expecting when I first started on that. Oh, it's the left one versus the right one. It's always easy to find that option. There are plenty of things out there where that's not an option that you have available to you. Like you have to, there's going to be some no matter what. Or, you're going to find the really, really specific brand that's 4 times the price. And then I'm just like, it's not.
Even the ones that are like look healthy and you turn it around, you're like, what? Like, why does this?
Yeah.
I think it's the ones that are Like you can drink your vegetables, you're drinking your fruits. It's the added sugar. Like there's natural sugar content. I understand that. But when I look at the added sugar, I'm like, seriously?
I think is Naked a fruit juice?
I think it's Naked.
I've seen one of those because similar to you, I was just maybe like 6 months ago, I was going through the vegetable side of the grocery store.
It's a scary side.
And I saw that thing there and I'm like, oh, like that sounds great. It was like a blueberry something or other. So it was purple. It looked really good. I bought it and then I took it home and then I looked at that and I'm like, I don't like the fact that I purchased that. Yeah, that's it.
I feel you, man. Okay, so here's what we're doing today. Similar to the episode with Rob Gerlach, Quinn is a very interesting human. His area of expertise is he has worked and coached so many entrepreneurs over the course of the last 10 years or so.
About 10 years.
About 10 years. I can't even count how many he's coached, including myself and John. So he's very well suited in that area. I also think he's just a very well thought out person. He takes his health and wellness pretty seriously as of late.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So what we've done today is we've got 10 items, 10 principles that we're going to go through and say underrated or overrated and then defend our arguments on, similar to like we did with the Rob Gerlach episode.
Okay.
You and I are going to do that today, Quinn.
I'm intrigued. Sounds fun.
Yeah. And we'll just see how it goes. You know, if this is running kind of long, we can skip over them or maybe we'll hit all 10. But we shall find out.
I'm a chatterbox. We'll see.
We've got a barbecue to hit after this.
Yes, we do. It's a
big barbecue night.
Big health ad.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start in the middle of the pile because that'll make it harder for me to remember which ones we haven't done.
Mm-hmm.
Continuous learning and adaptability. Industry, health, markets, personal life all change. Those who stay curious keep updating their knowledge and habits and adapt to unexpected twists. Underrated or overrated? Continuous learning and adaptability.
I would say, okay, before we go on all of this, is there an answer that's like probably right at where it should be? Or is that a cop out? Honest,
well, I think Rob had 2. It depends.
Okay,
so you can make it. Depends.
I'll make 2. It depends. I've got those in my pocket as necessary. Okay, I would say relative to what I typically see in like whether it's social media or anything like that, it's probably still a little bit underrated. You know, I am a decade into my career, which is terrifying, those words to have to say. But I felt like I've had 3 separate careers since I've been in sort of the normal workforce. And so I have always had to do that. And that's been something that I absolutely continuously having to sort of adapt to a new world, a new environment, even a new industry. And even if it's the same industry, but like the same industry in a different region, like you continuously have to sort of think on your feet with all of that type of stuff. And I think people frequently will say, you know, you have to sort of stay up to date with things. But I think in general, especially as you look at like AI and stuff, you know, throw out the wonderful buzzword of today. I really do think that in a future world over the next couple of decades, you are going to have to the pace of change will continue to like increase. So therefore, you must be more adaptable than even you have to be today. That's kind of my thought.
No, I completely agree with you. I've got nothing to refute on that one. Just to further spin home, like life has changed. If you're not good at change, life is going to be very hard at you. The more you try and keep something the same, the more that it seems to be forced upon you to change. Like you got to go with the flow. I struggle with that one personally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can have a hard time with change because I like to be very methodical, and so that means that, you know, you try and control situations as much as you can because you want the outcome. But, you know, you need to continue to update your knowledge. You need to continue to learn, and you need to be able to adapt, be quick on your feet. And I think that's how you survive.
I would say for me, working with startups for the last, let's call it 6-7 years or so, however long that's been, 5-6 years, has forced me out of my natural default, which is I like a bit more level of consistency. My natural default is sort of this analysis paralysis, get everything in and sort of own my box that I'm in. You know, working with startups who's not even day by day, but like hour by hour frequently, like you go through the roller coaster, that I think has forced me, you know, kicking and screaming into that world, I think a little bit more. And it's almost been like a trial by fire for me over the last like 5-6-7 years.
Yeah. The restaurants really helped me with it because everything we do is forecasting. How many sales do you think we're going to do next week? All right, let's build our labor budget off that. Let's order our food based off that. And then you walk in and it's like, oh, so-and-so called out. the fryer's down, the truck didn't come in.
Yep.
Like there's so much adaptability that's required in this. I think that's really been a great exercise for me personally.
Totally agree with you.
Is that sun killing you?
It's fine. But yes,
I was going to say,
but it's fine.
I don't know what I can do about it. I just want to acknowledge your struggle.
That's fine. That's fine. I will work through this.
Do you want sunglasses? I can give you.
No,
Dude,
I'm totally good.
That'd be kind of hilarious if you wore sunglasses for this episode.
I'm totally good. I mean, there's a natural like too cool for school aura that I need to have because I am that guy. But no, I'll survive.
Yeah. Sunglasses inside. Don't do that unless you're playing blackjack. All right. Number 2. Long-term thinking over short-term wins. Overrated or underrated?
Hey guys, Jacob here. Real quick before we get back to the episode, I just want to take a quick second and say, if you guys are enjoying this episode, please make sure to share the link with a friend. You may have noticed I don't run any ads in the podcast. In fact, I don't make any money off the podcast. It's quite the contrary. Over the past 5 years, I've invested a lot of time, money, and effort into the growth of the show, trying to continually upgrade the equipment, bring on better guests, and just improve the overall quality of the podcast. So if you guys are enjoying this episode or if you enjoyed previous episodes, please share the link with a friend. Sending it to 1 or 2 people makes a huge difference for me on the back end. As always, I appreciate your guys' support. Let's get back into the episode.
I would say overrated, and I'll give you the reasoning behind that. And this is at least simply how you phrased it. Your long term is the culmination of many short terms.
Yeah.
And so as I think about that, if you're so focused on 10 years from now that you want to get to, that you don't actively focus on the steps, the pillars that you're going to be building day by day, and the short-term goals that help you get to that, I don't think you've got a shot to go get to that long-term goal.
Yeah.
And so like, do you need to think 10 years out? 100%. Like I think folks need to be thinking, what is the North Star that I want to go focus on? I think you have to have sort of the short-term goals to get you to there, though, that you can't, if you're so focused on 10 years from now that you stumble over the short-term things, then you won't get to that long-term thing. That's the way I would read that.
No, I completely agree. I actually thought that wording was long-term orientation versus short-term orientation. The fact that it said short-term wins, I agree with you on your stance with this. It is the culmination of your short-term wins that dictate your long-term orientation.
Yeah.
And so, that's completely important. That's ChatGPT's fault right there, man.
Yeah. It's this may come as a shock, but it's like it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And like it brings either by intention or not, like it brings an interesting level of like obfuscation that like we now have to piece through all of that. I don't know.
It's kind of painful. I thought it was going to do everything for me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Are you saddened by the fact that it doesn't? Are you actually? Can we do like a 30-second off topic on that? Do you think that it's going to get there, or do you think we're starting to see diminishing returns on that?
Rephrase the question.
Do you think that in the next, let's call it decade, that thing on your phone is going to be able to do all of the things you want to do, automate everything that you want it to, practically think for you? Or do you think that technology is going to be an interesting tool that kind of gets embedded, but it's not going to be the big overlord thing that everybody talks about?
I don't know if it's a phone.
Okay.
I wonder if it goes somewhere else, if it goes towards glasses or a contact.
That's fair.
Or some sort of hologram projected from a wearable.
Okay.
But I do think that technology will continue to enable us to become lazier and lazier until it reaches a pinnacle point.
Well, that's optimistic.
Well, think about it, though. People pay for things to be streamlined, to be more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Max efficiency from a device is, unfortunately for most of the population, peak laziness.
Yeah.
It's 2 different graphs, but it's the same peak and they overlap.
Yeah.
So that is my concern. People need to think for themselves. Use technology as a resource. I think that's what everyone always says. But, if you allow food to get cheaper and be delivered to your house even quicker, who's going to be cooking at home?
Yeah.
If it takes 1 minute and 50 cents to get your favorite fried food.
I was listening to a podcast recently, and one of the comments that someone made was, in a world in which everything is provided for every human being on the planet, there's going to be underground places where people are just going to want to work because there's a natural human desire to go and do and build and create for others, which was an interesting comment around all of that. I don't know. I don't spend too much time on that like on that stuff.
You see, I think at our peak, we want a mountain to climb. Like at our core, we want something difficult to overcome. I think that's innate. Like I think that's just inside us, but I don't think a lot of people realize it until they have to uncover it. Like something has to happen where they have to realize that. I think you see this with entrepreneurs that like are super successful. They sell a business, they make a lot of money, and then they hit this peak depression.
Yeah.
And I saw an interview with I think it's Michael Rubin. He's the founder of Fanatics, right? And he literally said, if I could have 10 years back on my life, I would take away Fanatics and give all my money away and have to start from scratch with nothing. He's like, that's a no-brainer for me.
Wow.
He's like, you need something to do. Like once you've made it, once you've got all of that money, you can't go through that again. Like the journey is the reward and you only get to do that once.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of overlays what you're saying too.
I like that. And the journey is the reward kind of hits back on the other the other question that we had. Is it long-term versus short-term? And I think, that journey, all of the short-term things like is the thing that you're going to enjoy through all of that. I like that. It's a nice little circle back.
I agree, Quintanius. I agree. Focus versus diversification. Underrated or overrated? This is a versus. I don't know how I guess just give me your thoughts on focus versus diversification.
I'll say the comment of I think it's fully dependent on a risk profile. I today don't know if someone gave me like, here's the business that you can go and start and launch from the ground up. I don't know if I have the risk profile that's like, I want to put 101% of my eggs in that basket. And so for me personally, I like the diversified view. I'm also kind of a generalist. And so for me, having like an inch layer deep knowledge in a lot of different things, one, I think it's kind of more exciting for me, maybe a little bit more fulfilling for me. But then also at the same time, it spreads my risk out, whether it's companies I'm investing in or whether it's jobs that I have or whatever it may be. I kind of like that personal level of diversification. However, I think the other side of that coin is I don't think I'm ever going to be a trillionaire with that type of strategy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you want alpha and hyper leverage on that, I think you have to get very concentrated.
Yeah.
I'm okay not being the world's next trillionaire, first trillionaire, sure, whatever. We'll let someone else get there first. But yeah, that's kind of my thought on that. I would say diversification, whichever over or underrated that one is.
Yeah. I think, like you're saying, it does depend on the person. I'll say in general, like if you're trying to maximize your outcome, like you want to swing for the fences, you want everything, it's got to be focused.
Yep.
Like jack of all trades, master of none. If you got too many tabs open, you're constantly switching between them, making 5% progress on each, you're getting nowhere. Like double down on everything because that learning compounds upon itself. And so you stay in that area of expertise and you can go much, much deeper, much, much further. My personal opinion.
Yep. Do you find yourself naturally defaulting one way or the other?
I consciously try and stay focused in diversification. Like John and I had a conversation this week about something that we're looking at. And I was like, but this interrupts our compounding.
Yep.
That was a point that I had actually made. So I do try and do that. I will say though, like if you look at podcast, interviewing high performers and the content that I create around that and restaurant, two very separate things.
Very true.
I mean, you can overlay the principles that I learned from this podcast into how we run the restaurant.
Yep.
But that is the one thing where it's like, I'm a little diversified here.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, I think I try and stay pretty focused.
Okay. That's a fair response. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Next up. Authenticity and alignment. Being real with who you are, what you believe, and what you offer builds credibility.
Oh. These are hard, underrated, overrated ones. Because it's like underrated based on your perspective on them. Is it underrated, overrated based on like the world's view or like social media's view? Like
your view.
Okay. I would say underrated on that one.
Yeah.
From an authenticity perspective, I think the hardest thing is, and admittedly, like I am not perfect at this. I'd give myself like a C- on this, honestly. I think through, whether it's your socioeconomic status, the place that you live, the parts of your life or world that maybe you chose, maybe you didn't get to choose. Sometimes your ability to be truly authentic, work on things that you find passionate about, do good for the world, all of those things. Sometimes there are things around you that don't give you the ability to do that, right? You give like the, current, if you gave an interview to 100 people today just at random, how many of them are feeling like they are truly authentic to themselves in the work that they do? If you didn't have to wake up tomorrow morning with a salary focus or with, money as the focus, is this the thing that you would be doing? And so do I think that, is it something that should be striven for? 100%, because like that, I think putting yourself in a position that you do get to be truly authentic to yourself with your time, with your money, with the people you associate yourself with, all of those things. I think that's a goal to get to. And so that's why I'd say it's under. But I also have to recognize like the caveat of there's a little bit of privilege in getting a chance to do that. Like I think in the micro moments, like your interaction with a server at a restaurant and all of that and how that comes out, like you can be your truly authentic self and how you dress and how you communicate with people. But I think in like the macro level, there's a little bit more constraint around that, I think.
Yeah. I think a lot of things about this topic. You have like authenticity in terms of what you do. Like you're saying what like the work that you do for yourself, like do you work in a restaurant? Do you work for a bank? Like, that's fair. Like maybe your passion is to paint butterflies. And so you're not being authentically yourself because you're working at the bank right now.
Nope.
I agree. That's a harder thing to do. Now, you've seen people that have a passion for something that have built businesses in very like random ways.
Yeah.
Like I've had SB Mowing on the podcast. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah.
So he mows lawns for free.
Yeah.
In overgrown neighborhoods, genuinely just trying to help out whoever owns the people of the neighborhood.
Yep.
And he's built that into a very successful business. Very successful business. Like, and you just put it on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
and I watch them the random, maybe it's like I own a home. So like I've turned into like suburban dad type guy. But like those are now coming across my feed and I look at them and I'm just like, yeah, that, 2 minutes, 100% takes my time and I'm interested in it for sure.
He's sat in that very chair that you're in right now.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah. I had him sign it. You can look at me, No, I'm kidding. But like, so that is being authentically himself. He is authentically himself in every situation I've been with him, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I guess the way I would look at this question more is, you're right. It is a privilege to be able to do that on your own. In fact, Mark Cuban had like a $5,000 suit laying on the ground, wrinkled up. And one of the other sharks, I think it was Robert, I forget his last name, was like, dude, you need to be wearing that on the show. Like, why is this just laying on the floor and you're in a t-shirt right now or heading to this super important meeting? And Mark Cuban responded, because I can.
Yep.
It's like, why? No, I don't care about this $5,000 suit. I've made all the money I need to so that now I can authentically be myself.
Yeah.
I want to wear a t-shirt. That's who I am as Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
And that's what I get to do with your time. So I think that's really cool. But I think the more important piece, like the more practical piece that we could focus on right now is like being authentically yourself within interactions with people.
There you go.
Like even when there's something on the line, even when it's to a potential detriment in the short term. In the long term, I think it opens up more opportunities. Like if you have to pretend to be someone to get the opportunity, then you have to continue to pretend to be someone to continue to get further opportunities.
Yeah.
It's a diminishing returns in my opinion, because sure, maybe financially you'll make more money, but you'll be less personally fulfilled and you'll be hanging out with people that you're not trying to be hanging out with.
Yeah.
Whereas within these daily interactions, if you're authentically yourself, you are who you want to be in a given situation, you may lose an opportunity or an opportunity not align with you, but that opens up more doors down the future. So I guess a small example would be, I might meet with someone and they might want to go get drinks. And on occasion, I'll do that.
Yep.
But I may say, I'd really enjoy getting to go do the sauna, ice bath, lift, or run with you.
Yeah.
They might look at me like I'm crazy and I might not get that meeting. Or they might be like, that's really cool. I don't see a lot of people that are comfortable willing to do that. And then we go do it. And that's the type of thing that I love. We got a really big podcast that I'm doing in 2 weeks in St. Louis. And I had a call with the guy yesterday because he kind of wanted to vet out the podcast. And so we're going to go record at his house. But I said, no pressure. I know you're a very busy guy. One thing I enjoy doing with the guest, if possible, is I like to do something hard beforehand, something that we can have that first interaction and just really bond over it. It's like, I'd love to get a workout in with you if that's of interest. And he was like, yeah. He sent me the address and the time. We're doing it 2:30 in 2 weeks. And
that's cool.
We're going to go work out before we go to his house and do the podcast.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
interesting.
And it's like, if I wasn't authentically myself, that would have never presented itself.
Yeah. I think there's that human connection that I think, people sometimes get into. What's the norm? What's the standard? We might have talked about this last time about people are trying to find ways to hang out that are different from the go grab a beer, the go get a coffee, the whatever it is. And I think there's a level of intentionality that I think people are trying to get outside of that and find whatever it is uniquely you, that you then get a chance to bond with another human being and maybe get some business done or like have other things that you're wanting to do, but in those like kind of third place type situations.
Yeah. I really enjoy that. I think it's where things are heading, and that's what I personally enjoy doing. So even though it can be out of the box a little bit, I don't mind that people look at me and they're like, oh, he might want to meet over a workout or something. Yeah. I love doing that. Yeah. I've really enjoyed it.
That's cool.
Yep. All right, continuing on. Discipline over motivation. Underrated or overrated?
These versus ones make it difficult.
Not versus. It's saying discipline is more important than motivation.
Discipline is more important than motivation. I would say no. If you really are thinking about the long term, and it's funny, I think I almost feel like I'm probably going to contradict myself from like the short term and long term stuff. But I think motivation is when all else fails. You're stripped down to the bone. You're tired. You're aching. Philosophically or like reality. The motivation of the why is going to be the thing that has you go one more step, whether it be like actually take another step in a race or whether it be do the hard thing at the job type of thing. So I would say underrated. Or I would say overrated, because I don't think that discipline is more important than motivation.
I've got a trump card I'm going to use on you.
Okay, tell me more.
So let me start off by saying, in principle, I like what you said. I agree with a lot of what you said. Simon Sinek's Start With Why is a great book. It is really important. That fly is coming for you, Quinn.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with you. Like, you need to have a why. You need to be motivated. My trump card, this is becoming ingrained in my brain.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to do that interview with the co-founder of Under Armour a couple months ago. And I asked him about this. And his response was, he thinks the most underrated thing ever is the ability to perform when motivation is lacking and you don't feel like doing the thing. He said it comes down to execution and motivation is not a relevant factor.
It's a very interesting comment because I can see that lens that he's looking at that through, because if motivation was the only thing, then everyone has like, it's the idea that I want to start the business, I want to start the whatever. And if motivation was the only thing, everyone would just be doing that stuff. Right. And yet, you're not is the answer on that. And so it is sort of that action to get you out of your comfort zone, and I guess discipline. All right, I can track with that.
So my happy medium between you and the co-founder of Under Armour, which is a crazy sentence to say.
You're putting me on this. That's a poor decision, but that's okay. Okay.
My happy medium is that is something I've been personally learning through this experience, is like the importance of executing even when I don't feel like it. Because you've got people counting on you. We've got people on payroll. We have things that we're working on that like they matter significantly for the long term, regardless of if I'm motivated in the moment. Yeah. So that's the first half. Now, the second half caveat is I've also realized the other extreme, which is how much am I able to work in a given period of time without proper rest, without proper relaxation, decompressing, like disregarding my health. And so I've seen that extreme as well through this whole process. So I now play in the middle where it's like I have something I call power list, 5 critical tasks I have to do every day. Okay. And it's like non-negotiables right there. I love going above and beyond, doing more than that. I love getting a bunch of stuff done in one day. But I'm not going to push myself to the point where I did previous to this, where it became a detriment in the long run because my health was not sustainable for that time because I was just sprinting in the short term. So that's my happy medium between you and the co-founder from that.
Well, okay. The wonderful it depends, which is great.
Exactly. We sound like a proper lawyer now.
That's it. Greatest consulting answer ever.
Rob Gerlach. This actually plays really well into this one. It says rest as a strategic asset, underrated or overrated?
Rest as a strategic asset. I would say underrated. Rest is absolutely a part of that. You can go 100 miles an hour, and I've got, folks that I see and work with in my world, and my question that I mentally sometimes ask myself, and sometimes I've asked them directly, is like, how long can you sustain this? And this isn't like a day-by-day thing. This is a month-by-month. Can you do this for another 12, 18 months, et cetera, whatever that is? And so I think of that as there is a hustle culture, a grind culture, and all of that. Especially when it comes to tech and startups and venture capital and all of that, there's a strong focus on that.
Yeah.
And I think that if you are wanting to simply execute, lines of code in an hour, whatever that is, like in the short term, you can get to a certain level of productivity. I think you see diminishing returns much more quickly in that world. So I would absolutely say under appreciated. Like it's absolutely a component that you have to be thinking about.
Yep, I think it's underrated. Big fan of at least an hour before bed. Just do something that you enjoy, something that'll relax you, and then make sure you're getting 7-8 hours of sleep.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah, well, those are my two personal rules. I can go as hard as I want outside of that, but at least an hour before bed, try and do something you enjoy, and then try and get 7-8 hours every night.
That's cool. I'm glad that you have the mental fortitude, but it's also a we were even talking about this. We're going to a barbecue later, and we're going to hang out with some guys, and even it's a small comment, but you're just like, I'm leaving at X time, because I got to go get my 8 hours in, and putting it sometimes takes it creates social friction, and it takes a little bit of courage to do that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, that's again being authentically yourself. You guys are going to try and keep me out. That's fine because you're my friends, but I don't care.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Okay. We'll let you guys know on the next podcast who won that battle.
I was going to say we're both going to love each other equally the same, regardless of the outcome.
Maybe. No, it's true.
Yeah, this is conditional love.
That's absolutely it.
I feel like I had another point to make on that, but I don't know that I do. Speaking of this barbecue, well, you should probably start to wrap up.
Okay.
It's going to take me a minute to clean all this up, and we got to get to the important location and maybe assist with the barbecuing itself.
Do we want to do a lightning round with some of the rest of these? And we can clip them off in just like a couple of minutes if there were any ones that we missed?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Calculated risk and iteration. Move forward with purpose, but expect to adjust. Entrepreneurship isn't about perfect plans. It's about testing, learning, and iterating.
Underrated, fully agree. You're never going to have the full picture. And I think if you walk in day one understanding the full picture, you're wrong.
I feel like this goes with the adaptability and continuous learning. I feel like it's very similar.
Agreed.
Okay. Clarity of missions and values.
Oh, underrated. It is, and this probably for me gets back to like the why part of this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, must have North Star, or else you're going to be running on the hamster wheel.
It's this Simon's thing, start with why. Completely agree.
Yep.
Self-awareness and humility.
I would say in terms of entrepreneurship, self-awareness, maybe even both of those overrated. Some of the most successful people in the world, some might say, are probably some of the least self-aware people out there.
That's a valid point.
And so like social situations, underrated. Like I think there's probably a level of like execution, building a business, entrepreneurship that like there's only a certain type of human being that is able to do that, but those people can get away with it. So.
I was going to say self-awareness and humility. That does not seem like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos,
exactly.
Any of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Jobs was known literally for being over the top, screaming at people, saying this is going to get done no matter what.
Yeah,
like he had a warped perception of reality.
Yeah. It's back to that. It depends. Like if you want to be that human being, like it's probably underrated. But like if you just don't care, if your sole focus is that outcome, then yeah, it's fine.
Last one: sustainable energy over burnout. meaning more important than burnout?
Yeah. Whichever under or over fits on sustainability or long-term sustainability on that front. You can only go short distances with that.
I'm fully in agreement with that.
Yep.
Quinn, what is new in your life since the last 6 months that you need to update the people on?
Let's see here. I would say still going well on the health and wellness side of the world. I don't remember the last time was I starting this journey?
You were starting.
Let's see. Down between 10 and 15 pounds.
Congratulations.
And that's not the success metric by any stretch. But like maybe outside of like the last 3 weeks as I've fallen off the bandwagon a little bit. But like honestly outside of that, like portion control, caring deeply about the things that I put in my body, alcohol, no for the most part, and very low in all other circumstances. Sleep, not great. Don't know how I'm going to solve that. TBD on that front. But like health and wellness doing really well.
That's great.
Job, like summer, a little bit lighter, which was nice. I got a little bit of a reprieve in kind of July, August timeframe, which was great. Really, really ramping back up right now, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, all in. And then like broken pinky. That's like a super tactical thing, but like now dealing with a broken pinky, and I thought it would be a short-term thing, and now there's a possibility that like this turns into a long-term. My pinky's all weirded up for like the rest of my life. Did you not get that fixed? I did, but it's just distinctly possible that like it just didn't end up resetting appropriately or whatever. So like I still got probably 6 more months of just PT at home, but like cannot straighten it, cannot curl it completely. I have to also look at the grand scheme of the world. It's a pinky. So like I'm fine. Like I can grip a bottle, I can do whatever, but like, you know, the small little random things, I've actually noticed I can't shake someone's hand right now.
Oh.
And especially like, and I learned this because someone came in with a very firm handshake and like pressed these together, and it was a no bueno scenario. And so like I am in a world right now where I cannot shake hands for the most part.
I can try and reset that for you tonight if you want.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Although with that thing that we had, the little shot earlier, maybe I have the ability to run through a brick wall, and it's solving this problem. New cellular aging, whatever words came out of your mouth.
I was going to ask, are you feeling anything from the NAD+? If you're struggling, I feel like the answer is no.
I'd say no right now.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe this is how long until it hit you? Was it instantaneous or?
It was about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we're about 30.
Okay. So we'll see. Maybe on the drive home, I get that. I get that hits me.
You'll call me and it's just like,
I'll let you know.
I feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that. Quinn, you look stronger. I will say that.
I appreciate
that. Looks like you put on some mass. That's impressive.
We'll see if that's a reality or not. We did do it wasn't like a full DEXA scan, but it was like a similar kind of body mass index thing that we did in, I think it was April. And so I have like a pre-ish. It's not pre, it's like in the middle, honestly. I would have loved to have taken one at like November of last year. And we'll probably do a post like later this year. But yeah, still doing 3 days a week in the gym, running once a week, maybe once every other week. But yeah. I appreciate that comment. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I know you've been working hard. Okay, it's been great having you on, Quinn. Where can they find you in your massive LinkedIn following if they want to connect, learn more, reach out?
I mean, apparently with my massive LinkedIn following, I'm probably friends with somebody that you know. No, I'm kidding. Find, at least as of today, I think it's Quinn Robertson is the backlash or the backlink on LinkedIn. I think I nabbed that
URL. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel good on that. And if you just need to like search me on LinkedIn or something, I'm the guy with like black vest and like one eye that's like a little goofy in the picture. And then I'm not on any other socials. So like that's the place to get me.
Perfect. I can also put your home address if people want to stop by or write it.
I'd say that blood type, if you want to come hang out with the cat, like, you know, folks are more than welcome to come hang out with the cat. He is the center of attention and he needs more people to let him know that.
Shout out Rafi.
Yeah.
Shout out Rafi.
For sure.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Jacob O'Connor. The podcast is at Real Period Conversations. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to share it with a friend. Quinn, thank you, man. It's always good catching up with you.
Oh, so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Yep.